Okay. Hola. Yes, I took out my struggle braids because the struggle was very real, and it was beyond time. Okay, so I had to take them out. We got some length going on there, right? We're kind of doing a little something. I like it. Those struggle braids were in for a month and a half too long. It was rough. It was rough. But actually today I want to spiff about beauty standards. Because something I've seen that's been really weird. I've seen Chrissy and the Exoticals, who I thought were on opposite sides of kind of the, I don't know, of opinion sphere. I don't know if they're listening to each other, but they actually seem to see the world in the same way that I see the world, which is wild because those people are on like completely opposite spectrum. So to hear them say the same thing made it feel like we are finally getting to a point where we can have some common language. And to me, that felt refreshing. That felt really refreshing. So one of the things that the Exoticals United girl is talking about is like, she has a beluga series, and she was basically talking about size, right? And she was talking about the fat American women. You just saw 3 walk by, right? Like, American women are very, very fat. They're just so fat. I don't know, and like, they're so fat. Like, you're like an average weight if you're under a size 18. So I think when she was running the stats, it's like only 10% of the female population is a size 6 or below. Like, this country is so fat. Like, the women are just so fucking fat. I don't like, it's actually an issue. But when we're talking about beauty standards, you'd have to talk about body size. It's definitely not just about shape. Body size is also a portion of that. And some things I think are kind of strange is like the more, and then, okay, wait, let's go back, because I feel like Chrissy has been kind of saying this for a while, talking about in terms of like dark-skinned women and their beauty standards. Like, most dark-skinned women who are considered extremely attractive are very slim, like Alandria and Shelley. Very good examples. Like, those women have just an extreme amount of pretty privilege. Like, they're so pretty, right? Yes, but then there's like a whole other part of kind of, how do we say, like, there's a part of this conversation that I guess we hadn't come all the way around to, because there's other people who, like, I saw this. There's this girl who's like the tarot girl, and I think she said she's Puerto Rican, but she's pretty fat. I think she might be like actually like a size 18, and she was posting some message about how somebody else was calling her curvy, and it's like, I guess so. She's just like obese, but maybe not. I don't know. Like, everybody has these different terms for like extra large now. But like, every time she comes online and I see the videos, it's like, oh yeah, she's like pretty fat, like extra large. So I guess that's curvy to the men now. Or so. I can't explain to you like black men beauty standards. I don't think those count for like the rest of us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like I've said that on this channel before, and I also want to be very clear. Like, you cannot look to if you are a black woman, you cannot look to the black community to sort of validate your level of relative attractiveness. Like, you're never going to get correct feedback, because there's too many black men whose whole lived existence is to humble you. So you'll never know. Like, you could be really beautiful, but they are going to tell you every day, oh my God, you're too conceited, oh, you're this. They're going to pinpoint every flaw until there's nothing left, right? So you won't ever have like some moment of come up where you're like, oh yeah, this is my thing that's good about me. They don't believe that. It's very strange, because you'll see it for like all these other communities, But they never do it for our community, which is really weird. And it's like hurtful and weird, but it's mostly just weird. I hate when people do that. Anyway, so you're not going to get like a good, feedback reading from these men. So what does that mean though? Because at the same time, I feel like this is where the Ice Spice situation comes in, and I just have to talk about it because it was like so hurtful to my eyes. So basically, Anak Yai took a photo with Ice Spice, and it was called Babe Babe or something. And I guess it's because maybe Ice Spice did a music video, or she's got a song or something, and then Anak is in the music video. Whatever it is, like Anak is like really pretty, and then Ice Spice is just really not. But there's all these people, I think specifically men in the black community, who find Ice Spice so desirable. But I feel like she's like the Glorilla. Like her and Glorilla are like the same person basically. And it's really strange because it's like they get all of this attention, and then I guess we're all supposed to believe that like whatever that beauty standard is applies to all of us. But we live in the real world, so it's like we look at those women and it's like, it's not hitting. I don't understand. So I don't know. I felt like it was offensive for Anak to take a photo with her, and it was so offensive that like we have to talk about it. It just really diminished her whole brand. Like, I'm sorry, but Ice Spice is extra busted, and it was just not giving. It was like offensive to the point where like I was trying to just scroll past and like not say anything, like keep my negative comments to myself. But it oh god, like it was giving gross. So sorry, had to bring that to the front. Then there was another thing I saw where the Exoticals United girl, so she posts a like video. First of all, it was a video explaining like the difference between a medium and a small. So like small is like 0 to 4, even 6 she's considering small, but medium is like 8 to 16. And then the difference between like a 0 and a 16 is very large, but even the difference between like a 12 and a 4 is very large. So I feel like that's like the relative level of fatness that we have in this country, and like most of the women are floating on the like tail end of whale. So it's just kind of like weird when you hear men, like I saw it was like a photo of that girl Paloma, and it was like a beauty shot. It was something in like some beauty article where it was like, oh, Paloma, something about fashion. It's like, I think she's like floating around, like a size 18, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying like most of the women look like her. And I think when we're just talking about like discipline, right? And also fucking BMI, it's actually just not healthy to be that fat. So you're just like promoting unhealth. And also, I'm sorry, but like if you're actually into beauty, that's not beautiful. Ooh, unpopular opinion, right? Sorry. I think like as she was explaining this concept, it just became clear to me like why we actually need the Liv Schmitz of the world. I couldn't understand for a while like how people didn't know that, like she was like saying things I felt like most if you've gone on a diet at all, you would know some of the shit that she's saying. But I guess like some people just didn't know for something. I don't know. So like it was like she started it was like a revolution, but for like really common sense stuff. I don't know. It was strange. It was weird. I don't know. But I'm saying like when you get those statistics, you actually understand. Okay, let's not make it. Yeah, you actually understand why there's a need for. I hate it when people do that. You just understand why there's a need for her to exist. That's what I'm saying. So I respect her space, and I don't know. But then there was this. That was the first part of the video that was explaining the difference between a small and a medium. The second video though was doing something else, where it was like actually criticizing real people in the world for their like beluga-ness. And it wasn't just their beluga-ness, it was also their like male-centeredness. And I think that that's something that I want to like sit for a minute here and explain. Like, so there was one woman who came on and she explained how like basically because I think she doesn't look like she's that fat. She looked like she was like a size medium, but maybe like a 14 or something. But she was saying how she will go on these dating apps and then men will like match with her and stuff, but they won't want to go out with her in person. And she's not even that fat. And she wasn't even like ugly. So like that was like weird to hear. It's like, oh shit. Like, well, honestly, if you match with a man and then that man is basically like, I don't want to go out with you in public, well then, girl, like definitely don't go on the date. Like don't unmatch with him or like unfollow. But she was like making all these reasons and she was like explaining her way around it, and it was just like, oh shit, that was like a perfect example of someone who has self-confidence issues, right? But it was like she was explaining it over and over again, like this was a recurring theme in her life. And the exotical girl was basically reading her and being like, yeah, you have other shit that you need to like focus on that is not dating dusty ass men who can't even, and who refuse to take you to dinner. Like, that's very strange. And then there was another woman who was like basically describing how like she will date men, so it doesn't seem like she had the problem as the first girl, but she had like a different problem where she was like the men will date her, but then they won't be in a relationship with her and they'll break up with her because of her weight and because of how she looks. And I think that like a part of this is sort of like when everyone is sitting here telling you like pretty privilege is real, being model-esque is real, you have like privileges from that, and it doesn't just have to do with like men, especially like broke men. They will never give you good feedback. Like broke men serve no purpose. They're just there to be like observers of the rest of us. You should absolutely like unfollow them. Don't listen to what they say, block them. Like they legitimately they have no utility and even no opinion, because most of the things that they're saying don't make any sense. Like I've seen so many broke black men who just don't have opinions on everything. Wear your hair like this, do this. I have this critique about you in this way. I feel this way. Nobody fucking asked you at all. Like legitimately nobody cares. And yet they just keep going. They're like yapping in their fucking incel community. Like that's what I mean. And I like listening to certain things that like Andrew Tate or his brother has said. It's like they're saying all this shit and they do have followers, but the followers are those incel men. And it's like, it's almost like if I were to be like, you know, today I sat down on the grass, because like I'm literally sitting down on the grass, and a bunch of ants came and started crawling on my leg, because like ants live in the grass, right? And because a lot of ants came on my leg, I was like, oh my god, I made it. I am now the ant hero. Like, you don't really get points for having like ants following your message. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe get some points for like having, if you're like I guess that's kind of another thing in this particular case. It's hard to like quantify, because those type of dudes actually do have access to a lot of like models and stuff. So then yeah, but the men who are following them don't. So it's kind of like you got to really take each individual person as themselves, and then you also just have to realize, like, how can you say it, like every opinion isn't equal at all, like at all. This is kind of, I guess it's almost another thing where I've come like full circle. I used to be kind of anti-sprinkle, anti-Shara, but then I realized, like, damn, like you actually need somebody to say this shit, because like these men will say anything, and if you don't have the other side, like somebody being like parsing through the bullshit, you will get caught up in the bullshit. Like, so you actually like need Shara like reiterating the game to an extent, because it kind of like is a game. And then to even go back for a second, to roll this back, because this is the reason I keep having these conversations that are more about like religion. There, especially in the black community, there's like hundreds of thousands of like Christ loving black girls of the church who are not married and are not dating. and I said this before, but Pearl made this point. Some of those women are awful to be around. Like, it isn't that they're like dog-faced or that they're like so morbidly obese that like you couldn't look at them. It isn't that. It's more like their personality, they like literally are not a part of the society that like we are a part of. So like they don't get any of the memes, the TV shows and stuff, they don't relate to, they're not a part of like pop culture, even like real world shit. This is another reason like coffee dates kind of are important. I'm not saying you should only go on coffee dates, but like coffee shops are third spaces where like human living people in the world are out, and you will like go out and be around them, and like that is actually important as well. You can't just be like a hermit living in your house with your community of like 12 losers. That's not a thing, okay? Like, so when you go on a coffee date with a dude, even if it's only for fucking 30 minutes, like just sit down and have coffee with someone, you're just kind of getting even a sense of like, wait, can this person just be out in society? Like, that's kind of the question. Because like some people aren't there. And some women too, like, are not there. Like, they can't even just go out and get a coffee. That's very strange. Like, that's a fucking problem, right? And I think like another thing too, I feel like so many men are trying to like slut shame women out of having a hoe phase. I'm not for that. I hate that, actually. I think that like women should definitely have a hoe phase in a like protected environment, but like I definitely think it is okay for you to have like a sex life in college, and you know, you will move on from that. I'm also not saying go fuck a million people on the campus. I'm not saying that at all. I'm also not saying sleep with every single person in your neighborhood or community. I'm not saying that either. I am saying if there's a dude that you find attractive, okay, and like you want to smash him, then I'm not like discouraging you from doing that for a period of your life. Maybe put a time limit on it, put a number on it, but I do think that like kind of having some sort of relationship, you know, where you can like have a little heartbreak with a friend and move on, it like prepares you to be a part of like society. Like, drink a little bit of the Kool-Aid, you know, like live a little bit. Don't you want to have some fucking story to tell when you get old? What is your story going to be? Like, I fucking went outside, I read my Bible 20 days. Like, come on. Like, you know, like, live a little. Ugh. It's kind of frustrating. But, you know, I will say this as well. I think that with the rise of, who's this group? Kotze? I think I might be butchering their names, but Kotze, Tyla, and Blackpink are three groups right now who are occupying a space that I feel like desperately needed to be occupied. Like and Tate McRae. Those four, and Sabrina Carpenter. Like, 5 of those artists right now are doing something that is like they're making TikTok pop. And TikTok pop is important for pretty people. So if you're here and you're like a pretty girl, you should probably know what's happening on TikTok pop. Like, right? Like, because like another part of that is like the ugly girls aren't on TikTok pop. The ugly boys are not on TikTok pop. So they don't know. Like, do you know what the milkshake challenge is? I was on TikTok for 5 seconds and that shit blew up my feed. I didn't even get on TikTok yet and it blew up my Instagram feed. So even I know what the milkshake challenge is. And it's like some Katsai dance, TikTok dance thing that the girls remixed, and then it went viral. That's what it is. And it's really cute. It's really cute. I'm here for it. It's cute. But like, I guess it's just like frustrating because like you realize like you don't want to be the person who's like only aesthetics of the But then at the same time, you kind of realize somebody always has to occupy the spot. And you got to look around and realize if it ain't her, it's you. And you just have to know. You just have to know. That's how it is. Yeah. Weird society though. It's just refreshing to hear more people who understand my point of view. Because for a while, I was just in a space where the entire society around me was full of straight-haired blondes, and there was nothing else. Tyla entering the discourse was a heaven sent. It just changed the conversation to be finally, we have a black beauty standard. After all this time, Rihanna had been gone for just too fucking long, and there was nobody else. And we desperately needed somebody else. And finally somebody occupied this spot. And we needed that spot filled. Because I think that we can't keep having throwbacks from 2002. It's 2025. We need fresh meat. And Tyla is that. I think it also caused everyone else to kind of step up their game to an extent, you're just well, she's here now, okay? She's occupying space. She's making the TikTok bops. And we're all dancing to it. It's great. She's got the looks. She's got the poppy outfits. It's everything. It's great. We love it. Also, we needed it. Now, I unfortunately finally understand the purpose of Tyla. That is the purpose. It doesn't matter if any songs at all hit chart. It doesn't really matter what she says at this point, because she's not a vocal artist. She is a visual artist. That's a weird thing to say because she actually sings, but seriously, she's a visual artist. We need her to just go places and hold trophies and be yay, and do a little TikTok dance. And also wear braids, do a little TikTok dance, and just occupy some spaces. That is the vibe that we kind of need at this point. That has been a long way around a bunch of shit that I saw in the last 2 days. Also,